So Sarah, how are you enjoying Australia?
Oh, I'm loving it. It's brilliant. The weather is just great. Can't beat it.
It's starting to warm up now.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm from Dublin. I trained with Trinity College, and my base hospital was the Adelaide and Mead Hospital in Tala.
Yeah.
I qualified last September, and I worked in Tala Hospital for a few months as a bank nurse, and came over here then.
Yeah. So why did you decide to begin doing a travelling nurse?
I've always wanted to travel. I've travelled all around Europe and I've been to America a few times and things like that.
Yeah.
And I just thought this was the perfect time. There's not much happening at home job-wise, and I could travel, see the world and work a bit as well.
Yeah. So why did you choose Australia?
It's kind of a common place for Irish nurses to come to. Like, our degree translates over pretty easily and it's easy to get registered.
Okay.
And the weather. And it's easy to travel around. It's good for a travelling nurse.
Yeah. So your partner is in Australia?
Yeah, he's been here since April 2009. He came over and he's been on the Gold Coast. He was on the Gold Coast until I came over in March.
Yeah.
And then we came down to Melbourne together after I came over.
So he's finding it easy to find work here as well?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a trained carpenter at home, but he's actually working on the plumbing side over here.
Okay.
But he really likes it. It's something he never would have got to do at home.
Yeah. So there's more opportunities.
Yeah.
Can you tell me how you go about getting your visa to come out?
Well, I just contacted a visa agency at home, and I applied for the working holiday visa.
Yeah.
It's usually a pretty straightforward process.
Yeah. So what does that allow you to do when you're here?
You can work, and as a normal as
unlimited hours.
And you can travel, and that's for 12 months. So in that 12 months, you can come in and out of the country as much as you want.
Okay. Yeah.
And you can apply for it well in advance, and the visa only starts when you enter the country.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah. So you can plan these things.
Yeah.
Caring for You now has offices in some other countries. Where nurses could go and obtain travel guidance and information on forms and how to get over here for free. How would you think that would have?
Oh, I think that would have helped me so much. I just had no clue. Yeah. I was just relying on a few friends I had in Ireland who had done the working holiday visa.
Yeah.
Most of them hadn't done it as nurses though.
Yes.
So the fact that I had to do the added medicals, that was all new to me when I applied for the visa.
So there was no one to actually
there was no one. And even the registration, because there was a guideline that I printed out off the registration board online, but there were some things that I wasn't sure if I needed or if I didn't need. So one of the big things was the transcript of my course.
Yes.
So my college had to do out a transcript of every module that we covered in 4 years.
Yes.
This is a 4-year degree in Ireland. So that took like a couple of weeks for them to print out, and then I had to photocopy it all, get it all officially stamped and signed, and like send it off to Australia. And I'm not even sure if I had to do that. It's fine.
So you came to the Gold Coast?
Yeah.
As your first,
Flew into Brisbane and went straight down to the Gold Coast.
Okay.
And I was there for 3 months.
Yeah. So how did you find Caring for You?
On the internet. I was in the Gold Coast waiting for my registration to come through, and so I was on the internet a lot and typed in nursing agencies and Gold Coast, and first big pink one I saw. It was the pink, it was the pink. And so I contacted them, or I looked into the website first and saw that you guys have an office like in the Gold Coast and Melbourne. So that was a big selling point because I knew I wasn't going to stay in the Gold Coast.
You wanted to travel around.
So then I contacted you guys and it was simple.
So when you started nursing with Caring for You, you went out on some buddy shifts?
Yeah, I went down on 2 buddy shifts. They were great. They were really, really
just
good.
to build your confidence.
And they were something that I've actually talked to my friends in Ireland about before I came out. Because we worked with agencies at home. And we always said that wouldn't it be great if you had a shift?
So they don't offer that at home?
No, I've never had one before.
Okay.
So it was brilliant. Just, like, she put me at ease about like you'll be fine. You'll get used to it. And and she even like said that I could contact her if I had any problems or anything I wanted to run by her.
So, that's good. So when you were in Queensland, where did you work? What sort of facilities?
I mostly worked in aged care, which was kind of my choice as well, because I wanted to get used to the differences between Ireland and Australia and the nursing.
So what are the differences?
There's a lot more, as a Div 1 and RN Div 1, you've got a lot more kind of managerial role than you would in Ireland. Because the system is different. There's no EENs or Div 2s or anything in Ireland. So you've got a lot more responsibility administration-wise, staffing and things like that. And then it was just the paperwork, which would be different in any hospital you go to.
Exactly.
But
and the facilities over here, as opposed to the ones in Ireland, like aged care here, is it different?
Yeah, it's really different.
Yeah.
It's much more of aged care is much more like supervised living or whatever over here, and whereas at home it is very still like institutional, like hospital based.
There's a lot more freedom here.
There's a lot more like independence, and you know the residents, you know, it's their home, and it is like stress that it's their home, and they come and go as well.
Exactly.
I was working in an aged care place last week, and one of the residents had just come back from a holiday in America. That would never happen.
No. Working with an agency as opposed to coming out and being locked into a hospital, is that gives you more freedom?
I prefer it. Originally I wasn't sure if I would go for a hospital job or an agency, but I feel like I'm seeing a lot more of, especially in Melbourne. I've seen so much of Melbourne because I'm on public transport, and I'm just getting to see different places, and maybe down the line I might go to a hospital, but then I'll have a better idea of which one I want.
And the amount of work that you're getting through the agency, so do you write down when you're available and then you pretty much fill?
I just ring in like maybe the Thursday or Friday before, and just let you know when I'm available. And I've been getting, you know, pretty much full-time hours. I've been getting at least 4 shifts a week mostly.
So and then that gives you the flexibility to go and do more travel around.
And it's great. I don't think I've worked a weekend since I came to Australia. I might have worked one Saturday. But it's brilliant.
And the pay rates?
I found them really good. It's really easy to save, like with the weekly pay as well. I'm able to like put a little bit away each week.
And opening bank accounts and things like that here, is it?
It was pretty straightforward. When I applied for my visa, they offered to open a bank account for me and organise a mobile phone and a SIM card. But I didn't go. I went for the SIM card. I got a SIM card. But opening a bank account was simple. Once I got here, I just went into the bank, and all you needed was a couple of points of identification.
So birth certificate and
passport. I had a passport, and I had a letter, a bill with my name and address on it. So,
Oh, good. And the cost of living in Australia, how's that compared to Ireland?
I find it's much cheaper.
Okay.
Definitely. Groceries and like fresh produce. It's a lot cheaper than home.
Okay.
And even transport, because it costs me $10.90 for the day on public transport here, and at home a half an hour journey into the city centre was costing me €2.80, which is about $5.
Okay.
So that's just one trip.
Oh, wow. So apart from working here, where else, what sort of travelling have you done around Australia?
Well, when we were on the Gold Coast, we went into the hinterland a lot of the time at the weekends, and we had the beaches, the beaches are just beautiful. Gorgeous. You can walk for 2 hours and not reach the end of the beach.
Amazing.
And we went to the Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane for an Irish rugby game.
Okay,
So that was great. And then when we wanted to come down to Melbourne, we decided we'd drive down. So we spent 5 nights driving.
Coming down.
So we saw
a lot.
we saw a good bit.
So did you come down the coast?
We came down the coast, the whole way on the coast, and we stopped at Byron Bay. We saw whales out in the distance, and we went to Coffs Harbour, and we got a kiss off a porpoise. Got to hold some koalas.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And have you done any travelling down here while you've been down here?
I haven't done a whole lot down here, but I went to an AFL game. And it was great. The atmosphere was just brilliant.
Not one of the finals?
No, it wasn't. But yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
And then we've just kind of been exploring around our own little area.
Yeah. So where are you living?
In Point Cook.
Mm-hmm.
It's out in the western side.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how far is it to get into the city?
On the train it's about 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's about half an hour by car.
Yeah, so it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So have you gone down the Great Ocean Road or any of those?
Not yet, that's our next big trip.
Yeah. And at the end of this week you're going back to Ireland for a visit?
Yeah. I'm going for a holiday. My boyfriend's sister's getting married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're going for the party.
Yeah. So you're just going back for a month or so? Or?
Yeah, 2.5 weeks.
Okay,
yeah,
and then back?
Yeah.
So what happens with you? So you can go in and out for the 12 months?
Yeah, any time for the 12 months.
Yeah.
You don't get refunded the time, so that 2.5 weeks that I'm at home in Ireland, that counts in my 12 months.
Yeah.
But
so at the end of that 12 months, what happens then?
You have to, if you want to stay in the country, you have to, there's a few different options you can do. There is, to get another year working holiday visa, you can do 3 months of rural work, so you can work on a farm, do fruit picking, vegetable sorting, that kind of stuff. And that'll give you another year of your working holiday visa. Or else you can look to get sponsors.
Okay, yeah. So is that something you would be looking at doing?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because I don't want to go home for a couple of years. There's no reason for me to go home because the job situation doesn't seem like it's going to change. Yeah. So
for you and your partner.
Yeah. Because he's in the building trade. Yeah. So we're the unlucky ones.
So with the sponsorship, what is involved in that?
I'm not really 100% sure of. I know there's a lot of form filling. And you can go 2 routes. You can either go with your company and you can pay for it, and then you can leave that company if you want and move to a different one, or else they can sponsor you fully, and then if you leave them, then you've got 6 months to try and get somebody else to sponsor you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So can you stay in the country then unlimited if someone sponsors you?
Okay. And then you can apply for your residency, for your permanent.
After that.
Yeah. Okay. I think you have to be in the country 4 years before you can apply for that.
For permanent residency. Yeah. Okay. So what advice would you have for other travelling nurses coming to Australia?
I'd just say to plan ahead and really try and join up with an agency caring for you before you come over, because then you can just walk in straight into a job. Yeah.
And then we can organise buddy shifts.
Yeah, exactly.
Get you going.
And try and move into somewhere that is close to hospitals and
So Caring for You has agencies in both Queensland and Melbourne. How did you find that?
It was really good because most agencies are really specific to one suburb or one area, whereas with Caring for You I could work in like all of the Gold Coast, and then when I came down to Melbourne, anywhere in Melbourne, and it was really, really good. And 2 states.
And you find the mix, nursing homes and hospital is good?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, I'm getting experience I never would have got at home. I'm in like a position of responsibility that I never would have had because I would have been so pressed for time and short-staffed at home. So I'm really getting to see a lot.
Good.